Hi guys and welcome to this new video. I'm pretty sure that many of you discovered me from this English channel and never watched or never heard of my Italian channel. And I've probably already told you that I've been doing YouTube videos since 2017 and I just created this international channel a few months ago, to spread my videos to the whole world. So most of you missed the last racing season, which was awesome. So many crazy things happened. Now, considering that the 2020 racing season is going to start soon, I want to translate in English all the races from the past season and post them here. And get ready because they are going to be awesome. So, how did the 2019 season start? In the worst possible way. On March 2nd, during a training with my pit bike, which was the first training of the season, I crashed badly and I broke 5 ribs and my collarbone. Yeah, that was bad. And I don't know why people tell that the adrenaline does not let you feel pain, because it was so painful. As soon as I slammed on the ground, pain level over 9,000. And the problem is that the first car race was supposed to be 23 days later and the first motorbike race 40 days later. The doctors obviously suggested to recover for 2 months, but I could not miss at all the first race. Missing that race would have meant to lose the championship. So I decided to have a surgery and to put this in my collarbone to fix the bones. The awakening from the surgery was horrible, really. I felt so much pain in the shoulder, much more than during the crash. And the recovery was a little bit longer than I thought. I spent 10 days in the hospital and then I finally got back home. And after those 10 days, the shoulder actually did not hurt that much. I already could move it and use it. The problem was with the ribs. I don't know if you ever broke a rib, but it sucks, really. You can't breathe, you can't cough, you can't laugh, you can't move, you can't do anything. And that was so annoying. By the way, as soon as I got back home, I immediately went back to the gym to start training again. At least the legs and the cardio. And that was just to avoid losing more shape, considering that I already lost 4 kilos. And I lost 1 year of training. And many of you asked what happened 3 weeks ago because I posted a photo on Instagram holding this. And I simply removed it from my collarbone. So now I'm free. No more metal inside me. So, 23 days after the crash, I did the car race, which was average. Not because of my condition, but because of the car. And 35 days after the crash, I had my first motorbike test of the season. My first and only. And that was a super important test for 2 reasons. We had the new bike, the Yamaha R1 2019, so we had to do a shakedown. And also, it's been 6 months I didn't ride a 1000, so it was very important to get used again to 200 horsepower. And the first session was crazy. I thought I was leaning, but I was straight. I thought I was pushing, but I was going 8 seconds per lap slower. And I was pushing. Damn, that was so hard to get back on the bike. And you know what? After 8 laps, something failed on the bike. And the test was over. That meant that I had to attend the race with 0 tests at all. So there we are. 4 days later, we are in the race weekend. And it rains. I've never ever ridden a bike in the rain in my whole life, not even on the road. And after all the things that happened, it rains. Can you imagine that? The bad luck does not seem to stop, really. I was already prepared for a disaster that weekend, but then something crazy happened. As soon as I went on track for the first session, I realized I was fast. I was the fastest on track, and I couldn't believe it. In that moment, I realized that I loved riding on wet, because everything happens so slowly that you can think about everything, and you can calculate every single movement on the bike. And that's what I needed. And also another super important thing is that you don't get exhausted on riding on wet. Everything is so smooth, and that was great for my broken bones. So in the end, what seemed to be a bad luck revealed to be good luck. That weekend, the rain was the best thing that could have happened to me. In the free practice, I was the fastest, but in qualifying, the bad luck strikes again. Or, well, actually, it was not a bad luck, it was my mistake. Because I didn't open the air intakes on the helmet, and after 3 laps, the visor fogged completely. And I couldn't see anything. This is how I was riding. So, struggling with the visor, I got a 4th place on the starting grid. I could have done better, I was faster. I could have got the pole position, but I didn't. So, now it's time to race. First race of the year, is raining a lot. I start 4th. My coach, Luca Pedersoli, told me, don't panic. I know I am the fastest today. So even if I don't do a good start, don't panic. The race is long and I am fast. Track looks as wet as it was during the qualifying, so I expect the same grip conditions. Since I already had a great feeling, we didn't change anything in the setup. Also, after qualifying, I know that I had a big margin in my pocket. I'm pretty sure we can go 4 to 5 seconds faster in the qualifying, so I will have to do a very cautious and calm race without hurrying. I have all the time in the world to recover those 4 positions. The only drawback is that, unfortunately, due to the fogging on the visor, I couldn't practice the start. So I have no idea how to start on wet, so it's gonna be a wild card. Mamma mia, what a horrible start. I am 8th, but I am not in a hurry. I know I have everything under control. Let's let the others fight on the first lap. Then, once I get into the rhythm, I will pull out everything I have. Oh my god, what a takeoff! Man, I really risked hitting him. And this is what I meant when I said calm on the first turns. It takes just a small mistakes and you are on the air and then in the ground. So, keep calm. I am 6th and now let's start to get into the rhythm. my god, look at how much I gain in braking and cornering compared to the others. This is my strong point today, and this is where I can make a big difference. And here I want to thank the advice of my friend Luca Salvatori, which I called the wizard of the wet, because apart from being a rider, he's also a tester for Pirelli. And on the phone he explained me how to ride on wet, and he told me that you can brake very hard on the straight, almost like on dry. And then you can release the brakes and enter very fast in the corner. Because the front tire has a lot of grip, what you have to avoid is to accelerate early. You have to be gentle on the throttle, because with 200 horsepower it's very easy to lose it and do a high side. And this is what I'm doing, and you can see the results. It's usually to try to accelerate early and launch yourself in the air. It's much better to brake later, to corner fast, to wait to have the bike straight and then accelerate. That's the basic of wet riding. Okay, after this lap behind Mozzacchioti, I understood that I can pass him in braking and cornering. And that's at the end of the straight that I will try. Boom, let's go, one out. Another one out. So now after just 3 laps, I have reached the first 3. And this is crazy, I knew there was margin. I knew it. And for the first time in my life, I feel totally calm and relaxed on the bike. And I feel like I have everything under control. And this is one of the most beautiful feelings that you can have, because once you reach this, you start to have fun. And I am having fun today. Yellow flag, I can't overtake. No problem, let's wait. Another one out. By the way, congratulations to Danilo Ciuti, who is racing with a bike which is from I don't know which century, and I don't know how many horsepower he has. And today he's fighting for the podium, so hats off. Okay, anyway, now I reached the first 2, and I got them cornered. I got them. Oh my god, Palladino almost crashed. So I'll try to overtake him at the end of the straight. Enough with these yellow flags, come on, stop it. Dang, always when I have to overtake, there is a yellow flag. Okay, anyway. Being behind Palladino D'Ambrosio, I realized that D'Ambrosio is struggling. And it also shows the fact that in the first lap, he almost crashed. But Palladino, however, worries me much more. Because after last year of racing, I got to know him and he's let's say if he races in 150, a random time, and one rider who rides in 146 passes him, there are two options. Either Palladino crashes or he does 146. So I know that the moment that I will pass him and I will show him how faster he can go, he will stick to my backside and will never let me go. It is too risky to pass him now because I will give him a reference which is too valuable. It is much better to wait one more lap. Okay, it's time. I'll dive in and I'll try to fly away. Yes! Come on! Look at what I did. Now I have to go straight to D'Ambrosio, pass him, and fly away. Okay, I'll try something crazy. I'll try to pass on the outside. Yes! Come on! Look at what I did! Look at how I passed! That was insane! That was the best overtaking my whole life. Okay, now I'm on the lead. Now it comes the hardest part. So I said that I had 5-second margins from the qualifying, and that's what I did. We are racing 5 seconds faster than the qualifying. And it's surely possible to do more, but I don't know how. I have no idea. I don't have the experience. Moreover, I'm racing on my own, so I don't have a reference in front. And if you ride a bike, you know how hard it is to go fast without a reference, especially in these conditions. So I have to find the right compromise between pushing but not exaggerating, because a mistake now in the lead, in the last lap, would be unforgivable. Meanwhile, what I predicted happened. Palladino looks possessed and he's racing 2 seconds faster than he was. He's anchored to my ass and I already know he won't let me go anywhere. I knew it! Dang, Palladino! I knew it! Okay, anyway, I know that in braking I still can dare more. So now I'll cross the line, exit faster, and I'll try to pass him in the end of the straight. No, please, I don't want to believe it. No! A lapped rider crashed in front of us in the last lap, and now there is the yellow flag, and I cannot try to overtake. It doesn't make sense. Shit. It's not fair. I cannot have the chance to try at least. Come on.
pronto? Sei pronto? Sto giro col bagnato mi ha fatto il culo, gara 1. Ti faccio una promessa. Vai. Con l'asciutto non ti faccio vincere neanche una gara, te lo dico, te lo sto dicendo. Va bene. Grande, complimenti.
How can I not be happy after such a race, and how can I not be angry? It's like that. These are races, and you have to learn to live with these emotions. But after all, that's the beauty. Once again, this race shows how bad luck is a spinning wheel that you cannot foresee. For example, if Palladino had decided to overtake me on the last corner instead of the second to last one, that yellow flag would have been my salvation instead of screwing me up. Unfortunately, all of this is part of the game. And at this point, we are all racing for race 2, right? Icing on the cake, race 2 will not happen. Because in the previous race, a driver broke the engine, flooding the track with oil and making it impracticable. So, we all went home without race 2. Exactly, today, where in these conditions I go really fast, there is no race 2. Just to add more bad luck to this day. Anyway, I'll go home with a second place in the championship that is worth gold for me, and that gives me an immense charge for the next round. May 18-19th, Varano racetrack. I promised all my opponents, especially Palladino, that I will arrive with the knife between my teeth. Get ready, because what you saw today was just the beginning.